Howdy, howdy, it's the morning howdy, morning howdy.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. Like every episode, howdy. So this topic is a killer. Today's topic is going to be games, gaming, gamers, the past of it, the future of it, the goods and the bads. So let's get started right into it. So gaming is a thing that's only been increasing in the world. The entertainment of consoles and being able to be at home and be entertained. Okay? Everyone has an Xbox or a PS4 or a PC or a phone that they got games on. Everyone is taking their time when they think they have free time or there's nothing else to do and they're playing video games. This is a solution that we have made up to when we're bored. This is our gateway to do whenever we feel like, I'm going to repeat myself, nothing else to do. And it's there late at night, and it's there early in the morning, it's there when we're on break, and it's there in between meals. So, generally, I have spent a good amount of hours playing video games, and it's in the thousands of hours. I have wasted a lot of my time playing video games, and I know I'm not the only one. And I know as time goes by, there's going to be better platforms for gamings. The gamings are only going to get better, and maybe we'll even be part of a games ourselves. Put our hands in a machine, zzz, and we'll be like in the movie Tron or something, you know. And maybe it'll turn into reality, you know. Not really, but. So let me talk a little bit of the past in gaming, and I'll work my way up to the future. So our first games that are electronic were like the little ping pong ones. You got the little Mario jumper, the Galactica, the Snake. I mean, there's a lot of classic games out there. I'm not the biggest gamer there is, but it started small. It seemed so. At first, the people who saw these electronics and being able to manipulate, as you saw, it was very entertaining. People fell in love with the idea of video games and putting yourself in a reality that's not in the one you already live. And as electronics get better, and as time went by, you started seeing the fighting games, you started seeing the shooting games, you started seeing the RPG games, the adventure games, the Links, the Marios, you know, the Donkey Kongs, the Snakes, you know, all those adventure games, the Samuses. I'm gonna think of some classic ones. All the Marios. Everyone loves Mario. Let's just keep it at that. And as the games started getting developed, you find yourself in a story mode, and you find yourself in a level, and you gotta complete the level. It's your next step. You gotta level up. You gotta make yourself better. You gotta be the best at the game. If it's a fighting game, man, you put your life and your time to only improve your skills. And people apply themselves from the game into real life. But that's a very few amount of people who take the knowledge of their game and how they interpreted the game into the way they're going to interpret it in real life. Because a lot of people take the life that is not giving them the best opportunity, and they go to the games that is fun. And there's nothing else but fun in the games. And the game isn't going to hurt you. Okay? We play the game because it is a game. It's for fun. We have fun. If we're not having fun anywhere else, we move to the game. There's a lot of people out there who are, depressed, don't have friends, they don't like to go out, and they just stay at home and they play video games. There's nothing wrong with playing a game every once in a while, but if you're not taking all the time, you say the extra time, and you're only using it into a game, you're not being productive, you're not being more intelligent, you're not improving yourself. You're a stationary potato playing the same thing over and over. It's like you're being brainwashed. That's how I look at it. I have been video game brainwashed, okay? Let me think about where it started. I think Halo was one of those games where I just fell in love with. Halo was so fun. The shooter was so realistic. It was one of those things that were really revolutionary, per se. and really mainstream, and being able to play with players. Anyone who had Xbox Live, anyone who had the game was able to play with each other, and there was nothing better than that. And the good thing about gaming is that people are connected. People can contact each other. You know, people can talk to each other. People can make teams, make clans. You know, they can have a pro league. You know, just have a way to play with your brother that's not at your house, you know, or your friend or a relative. You know, it's a good way to do things like that. I'm not saying it's all bad. Of course it's not all bad. But, you know, everything that's bad has the good, and the good has the bad. So I started with the Halo, okay? And then, you know, I fell in love. I started doing the Guitar Hero, and I had to get to expert level. I spent hours doing that. You know, the RPGs, I had to make sure my character was level 100 and was able to kill all the little demons. And I think one of the main things that got people hooked was, unfortunately, WoW, World of Warcraft. The RPG experience and going on quests and having all little people run around, everyone's on the computer, you know. You kind of become the character. You kind of step out of reality and you only focus on something. It's you, but it's not you. You make the character, you play the character, you're putting yourself into it, and you're putting the time into it. And when you get to 100, you realize you really didn't do shit. Okay? There's people, though, who can make the account, play the game, right? And then sell their account. I've seen people do that. I've seen people with leagues make money. And as we go into, as gaming increases, as we see the games start being more interactive, more complicated, more entertaining, more better graphics, better to look at, you find yourself, you want to be a professional gamer. So now they have leagues, this CGL, Certified Gaming League, and the MLG, and multiplayer league gaming, or stuff like that. And as you say, I want to be a professional gamer, I want to make money doing this. You only make the money if you win the tournament. And there's a lot of people playing, and you have to pay money to get into the tournament. You don't make money playing games. You get lucky making money playing games, okay? And you know, I've seen so many people stay inside all day, not do a thing, and they get into these clans, and they think they're part of something great, but really they're in a video game league. They're at home, not being productive, not learning anything. And they play the same team deathmatch game all the time. It's just different. It can be a different outcome. It's a lot of different possibilities. It's like a game of chess. Not every game is going to be the same, and that's what makes it addicting. Because you could be better, and by being better is by playing more, and by playing more you get to win, and when you get to win, it feels great. There's nothing better than winning, and that's the addictiveness behind it. Games are addictive because the games are designed for you to feel good when you win. They're not meant to just be you go left, you go left, you go left, and you win the game. No, you actually have to try a little bit. But they don't make it too hard where no one can win. They make it where anyone is possible of winning. They want everyone to get into the game. They want everyone to be a potato. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you no conspiracy theories that games are put into the world for mankind to be destroyed. No, it's there for entertainment. But people with anything, any addiction, it can cause problems. It can cause, you know, here's something. Here's a big thing with ruining relationships with video games. And it's all started early. So you got, you know, a phone cable, right? You got a phone cable and you're playing a game. And someone calls your house phone. And you're like, no! And your mom answers the phone and she's like, hello. It's a collect call and she hangs up. It's not even an important phone call and your whole game gets disconnected. You have to wait until it reboots. You're about to win the game, right? And it's all lost because your mom decided to answer the phone. And you get so mad. You start breaking things. No. And it's all over a video game. You get so upset over a video game. It causes problems. Say someone walks in front of the TV. Oh, you're in my way. You start getting upset. And for an entertainment game, it starts becoming an issue. It starts becoming a problem. People aren't getting athletic. People are staying still. They're moving their hands. It's good. Gaming is good for hand-eye coordination. It's very, very good. I have very good hand-eye coordination. I don't know if I would if I didn't play games. I'm not sure. I played baseball, I played sports. But sometimes, man, I don't even know how I do things with my hands. And dude, like, I swear, I'd be flipping a pencil, not carrying my phone, you know, I drop something, I catch it. A lot of things with my hand-eye coordination that it's like subconscious. I don't know if it comes from games. You know, I'm good with my fingers somewhat. And it's not always bad, it's good. It makes your decision-making skills quicker. It's not all bad, but it's not all good either, you know? And there's a lot of problems with that. People, you know, like kids, they use it as punishment. Oh, you can't play your video game, but mom, please. And you start becoming sad. You become emotional because this entertainment thing became your addiction. And when you can't have your addiction, you get withdrawals. And yeah, you get withdrawals from video games. I know there's a lot of gamers out there, and I'm pretty sure some of you can relate. So I talked about a little bit, I guess not so much about the past. You know, in the past it was hard to make games, but now that there's so much software, that there's people can make games on the phone, little kids can make games, you know. I'm not saying it's easy to make a game, but to make a functional game, like, it seems like there's a new game every year. Every year there's a new game. So there's always something new coming out. A new version of the game. Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 5, 6, Black Ops 2. There's just another version every year. They're giving you something new to do, a new campaign. They're keeping you in the chair. They're keeping you entertained. They're trying to make the money off you. They're trying to keep, you know, the kids happy. And now they came up with the genius plan. They say, we're going to make all the games free. There's gonna be a bunch of free games now. Well, you don't have to pay for the games. You just play for free. And now it's so genius because people, when it's a game is free and it's good, everyone gets on it. So when you have that player base, you have so many people playing the game. You start adding add-ons. You can buy this only like $2. People buy it. People like having the little add-ons to a game that's already free. It's like, oh, I would have paid $60. It's no big deal paying $2 for a little costume. That becomes an addiction too, to have all the little costumes, to have the coolest character for a free game. Free. Your time isn't free. Your time will never be free. Your time is wasted. And when something says free, it's not really free because you're wasting your time. You're not being productive. It's an illusion. Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. Any game can be entertaining when you know the whole world's playing it. You just feel part of something big. And I'm not saying for people to step away from the games. Games are good sometimes. If you're like literally say you're sick and you have to be in bed, a game is cool. A game is cool. Like I said, if your brother is in another state for some reason, or I have a friend who's in the army. We can play a video game. It's a cool way that it's like he's there. It's not all bad, but it's not all good. And now there's the free games, and it just gets more people addicted, more people playing it. Like I'm talking about Fortnite, and you know how I was talking about tournaments, people wanting to make money. Before they had the little Mortal Kombat tournaments, they had a little some Galactic tournaments. People were sort of making money then. Do you even have any clue how much money people are making with video games now? It seems like everyone wants to be a video gamer. Free game. There's a game. It's called Dota 2. Dota 2. Defend of the Ancients. Okay? And it's it's like every game you start off at level 1, and as the game progresses you level up. And it's a game that lasts it can last up to an hour. And it's always a new game. You always start at level 1, but you get an option to pick a bunch of characters, and it's like a strategy game because you get over let's just say 100 characters to pick from, right? And each one does a certain thing, and you can only pick 5, and the team can pick 5. But no team can pick the same character, so it's like you get to pick, you get to pick, you get to pick, you get to pick, and you make your team, and you decide how you're going to play it. This Dota 2 game got so much attention because it was free. Everyone played it. Everyone wanted to play a free game. It got to the point where it became the most money in a championship tournament, over $20 million, around about, even getting to the point of $1 million for a tournament of a game is completely insane. So there's a team of 5, right? A team of 5, and there's teams in China, teams in Indonesia, teams in Russia, teams in the United States, Team Brazil. You know, there's teams for a video game. And it's like it's in like an Olympics. You got the Chinese, you got the Japanese, you got the Americans, you got the Russians, you got the South Americans, you got the Europeans. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they all, it's not like all based on where you live, but generally that's how the teams are formed. It's little communities, they get together, they form a team, and they get good and they strategize. And the winner of this tournament, that means each individual who won on the championship got a couple million each for a video game. That's for free. A free video game. And it's based off being able to buy cool costumes, they got so much publicity, so much. And the reason the championship was so high is because you could buy a battle pass. And I think a lot of people now know what a battle pass is. It's like a pass, and you can do little quests, and you can unlock costumes, and you only pay a little amount, but you can get a lot out of it. It's not like buying separate things at a time. That's how they make the money. This is how they make the money. You buy your little battle pass, but the battle pass was adding up for the championship. So whoever bought the battle pass was able to get the costumes, but some of the money was equivalent to the jackpot. And a lot of people were playing the game, and a lot of people bought the battle pass. So somehow, some way, it got up to $20-something million for a game and a tournament. And someone won. Someone won the tournament. Someone came out with millions for a free game that you could play. And it's crazy. I think it's crazy. And you know, I had a video about viral platforms. It's the same thing. You could record your games, and say you're a good gamer. Say you spend your whole life playing video games and there's one game. You could be a speedrunner, finishing games fast. They literally have a cancer foundation. I think it's Games Done Quick. And people speedrun a game and do it as fast as possible. And people donate to watch their favorite games be being fast as possible. And I think that's pretty cool. That people are playing games, like people get together, because everyone plays games. That's the thing. Everyone plays games. Everyone is wasting their time playing games. But you can use playing games in a good way. But there's too many people not. You know, now everyone wants to be a streamer. Everyone wants to stream their video games, show their content of their games, show their experiences, their highlights. And, you know, people can make money from that. People can get donations. People can make money off the YouTube. People post their videos on the YouTube, on the Twitch. There's a lot of other sites like that. And there's ways to make money. But not everyone's going to make money. And when you think you're going to make money, it's not 100% possible you're going to make money. There's a chance. People might like you. You might be one of the best out there that's, you know, hidden. Someone sees you, someone tells someone about you, and you say you beat a pro, right? And someone looks up your name, and they're like, oh, how do you beat him? And then they look you up. There's ways to get... Since everyone is playing a video game, and the viral platforming is only increasing, it seems like it becomes more okay to play video games and not do things outside and help the world. And it seems to me that the generations that are going to come are going to be more into video games. It seems to me people are doing less sports. Whenever there was the only thing to do that was fun was play sports because the video games were whack as fuck. That's why people were playing sports younger. Now that the games are free, it's not like you had to be rich to buy games. The people who would be doing sports are just playing video games all day, man. You know, and the people who do sports, guess what? After they do sports and they come home, they're going to play video games. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's crazy. I think video games is a crazy invention. It's entertaining. It's time consuming. Some people, you know, they're depressed. There's nothing else for them to do. They don't feel smart enough. It's okay. It's okay. But just as long as people know that games really do take up our time, keep us away from our family, disrupts our lifestyles, you start to realize that games are needed. I took a tea break. I realized that my gaming became an addiction. That I was spending too much time playing games and not doing things around the house, doing things to help my mind. You know, it even became a problem. That I'd be like, oh, I would get so upset when I was younger. I'd get so upset because my dad wouldn't buy me the new game. I would get upset whenever someone answered the home phone and my game got ruined, and it was all their fault. My dad went to the grocery store, and I didn't want to come with him and help him. I didn't want to go out and do things anymore. I just stayed at home. I was like, why would I go out in the cold? There's nothing fun in the cold. I'm going to stay inside. Yeah. And like, when I think to myself, virtual reality. So this is like the next step in the game is virtual reality. It makes you feel like you're more into the game. But what's going to be the next step after that? Like I said in the beginning, are we just going to plug ourselves into something and we're literally going to be in the game? You know? What is the next step in gaming? How can it improve? You know, I don't know. I don't know. Are we going to keep using consoles? Are we going to use the computers more? Is there going to be a new way we play video games? Are we going to have everyone in their house is going to have a platform where we can all stand on, and like the game will give us weapons and we literally run in the game like how we run in real life, like a little treadmill? I think that would be pretty cool. It would keep people active. You know what I'm saying? But that sounds like pretty expensive in my opinion. And let's see. Gaming. And you think about 1,000 years, no one had games. No one even knew about sports. So let's think about other types of games instead of just electronics. You have sports. You have people want to go and play soccer. People are running all the time and kicking a ball. Well, you can think they're being active. They're being athletic. They're improving their physical abilities, and that only gets good to a certain point. Because sometimes I think sports are just as bad as games. And I'll tell you why. You're doing the same thing over and over. It's just a different outcome. Yeah, you're staying active, and that is a good thing, is to be active. But when you spend your life just playing one thing, you're not improving yourself. You can improve your craft, but there's hundreds and hundreds of people doing the same thing. And some people are just naturally going to be better than you. You're not going to be tall enough to do these things. You're not going to be skinny enough to do these things, right? And we think about sports and how people are so caught up into them. People are all in the fantasy leagues. They're so caught up in the leagues. They go watch TV and gotta watch the sports. They gotta watch the next game. It's all because they're into the sports. And it's just more than just being out on the field. Is when you get home, you're only worried about the sports. And what is sports? It's the same thing that's been going on for 50 years for all the sports: baseball, football, soccer, tennis, all that. It's gonna be the same thing. It's just going to be a different person doing it. It's going to be a different outcome. And maybe something spectacular, like a comeback. Comebacks are cool to see. I'm not going to say they're not cool to see. It's hard for something like that to happen. But it's going to be the same thing. No one's improving. No, people are too distracted on a ball, rolling around, or being thrown, or being hit. Just like in a video game, two people are too concentrated on looking at the screen, playing the same game, shooting the same virtual character. What is productive? What are you doing? Yeah, you can make money off it just like you can in games. And people can make a living off it just like you can in games. But is it anything intellectual? You could say it's good for your health. You could say, yeah, I'm becoming smarter. Like my hand, foot, eye coordination's getting better. You could say that the same about games. But are you intellectually? Oh, I can know the game smarter. But in the end, all you got to do is score. You score. Everyone scores in some way in the game. Because there's always got to be a winner. The only way to be a winner is to have the best score. Or to be the only one who scores. I don't know what game you're playing. And in video games, is you finish the campaign. You get the most kills. You be the last one alive. But in my opinion, if we are so advanced and so smart, think about this. How did we get to the point we are today? Just to stop and just be distracted all the time? No, there's still people out there trying to improve on things that we see. You can improve on a video game all you want. How are you going to improve society? How are you going to improve the food coming in? How are you going to improve the safety if a disaster happens? How are you going to improve the future generations and generations? You say, oh, someone's already doing that. Okay, someone's already always doing something. You got to be a part of something. When you play a game, you're not part of anything. You're part of a virtual entertainment. Entertainment is not being part of something. That is all you and your mind. Okay, when you play a sport, you're playing sports with other people, but you're not being productive, bro. You're not. And if you look at it, and from Albert's perspective, at the end of the day, you come home tired, but in those 2 hours, all you did was the same thing you did the other day. I don't want to do those things anymore. I don't want to do the same thing I did yesterday. You could say the same thing about YouTube. You're making a video. You're making another content. But I'm not doing the same kind of content every day. Right? And I'm doing this because I want to see people get off the games. Or be more lenient of the games. Or just realize what they're doing when they play the games. Because I stopped. I stopped a lot of things. It's because when I looked outside the box and saw what I did and I wrote down all the pluses and negatives, I found myself with more negatives. I don't want more negatives. I want pluses. I want to increase. I want to level up. The best thing about a game is to teach you to level up. You got to level up in real life, bro. Maybe the game can teach you how to level up, man, but you got to do it yourself. It's like you go to school and you learn. But what are you going to do with the things you learned? That's the question. You can go to school every day, but if you don't do anything you learn, then learning is inefficient. When you play a game over and over, it's inefficient. Maybe you played once and maybe you learned something. That could be efficient. Maybe something you've never seen anymore. That's good knowledge in your head. Something you haven't seen before and you've seen it, that's always knowledgeable. The unseen being seen is always knowledgeable. But once you keep that repetitive, it's like smoking a cigarette. It's repetitive. It's no progression. And we need to find ourselves being more progressive. And getting that progression in our lives. We could say the same thing about working out. We get to a certain point and we're not getting any bigger. We're staying healthy, but the thing about working out, we do it to live longer. We do it to be stronger. What are we getting stronger for? For the sports? You know what? I used to work out for sports. I wanted to be a good football player. I wanted to be the strongest. I wanted to make sure I was the best at football. But guess where that got me? Not shit. And most of the people with me, nowhere. Some people got one or two people was able to go to a college for their sports. Are they going into the NFL? I don't know, but probably not, because there's an even higher percentage. Lower percentage when you get into college, because all the people from high school, they go to there, and then there's a lower percentage. It's the luck of the draw. You get lucky playing video games, making money. You get lucky playing sports. You can get injured, right? You can get injured in sports, and then that's when you realize, oh, this was for nothing. When you get injured. When you lose a relative and you realize you didn't spend enough time with them because you were so busy playing video games, maybe then you'll realize that games that weren't shit. They're fun. Hey, they're fun. I like games. I'm never not gonna like games. But I'm not gonna be addicted to it anymore. I'm not gonna pick up a controller and be like, look, I'm gonna do this for the next 4 hours. Screw it. No more of that. No more of that. And I would want other people to hear my words, because I lived through the experience of games, man. I grew up with games, and a lot of other people younger than me, they all grew up with the games. But some people are so I have a friend's brother, for example. He's still my friend. He doesn't have friends. He doesn't have like a girlfriend or nothing. He just has school. So when he's not doing his homework and he's done studying, guess what he's doing? He hopped onto the game, and a free game at that. And he plays the game until he actually has to do something. Woo! Why don't you improve on the knowledge that you've been doing in school? Why don't you do something around the house? Why don't you talk to someone? No, he just goes to the game. That's what he's attuned to. That's what he's addicted to. There's no other options for him. There's always an option. There's always a way to increase your health. There's always a way to increase your mind capacity. And one of the most important things that I believe that we should always be working on is our mind. For the future as well. For our children. Because if we're able to increase our minds, it's a chain. every next generation is going to be better. It's because we give them all the knowledge we have, and they grow from that. Because they learn from a young age. I'm 23. And I'm just now more getting to this realization. I'm learning now. I feel like I'm actually learning. And now that I'm learning, I want to teach. It's like I'm a professor. Professors, they go to teach, but most professors are still learning. And they learn what they teach what they learn. Because they're still getting smarter, and he's sharing the education with the younglings because they're growing. They're at a younger state where they can improve on everything he learned, because the old person is more motivated. He sees things clearly. When he can share those things with the young person is going to have more time. And when we get into games, we lose the time. There's no progression from a game. All we can say from a game to the next person is how to play the game better. No, we got to tell people to get off the game. I was like, oh, you've been playing games all day? Yup. Man, fuck you, bro. You didn't do shit. I'm going to be mad. I ain't going to be your friend. You're unproductive. You ain't going to do anything for me. You ain't going to do anything for the future. I want people around me that are going to be productive. I don't want video gamers around me anymore. Because when they're there, when something goes down, what are they going to know? What knowledge did they acquire in life that's going to be presented for them? If everything stopped and we were in the wilderness, because, say, an EMP, no cars, right? The video gamers, he's going to feel like he's a potato. If there's no video games, what is a person going to do if the video games is all he knows? He's going to be helpless. We can't be helpless. When we find ourselves in these addictions, when it's not there, we feel helpless. But if we're always working on our minds, we're never helpless, because we are always prepared for anything. Some people who play games are prepared for anything. Some people did Boy Scouts and etc. You know, they're like, oh, I don't need to worry about it now. But if someone's always working on themselves and working on reality, there's nothing they ever have to worry about. Video gamers, they have something to worry about because they're losing their lives, they're losing their time, they're losing their relationships, they're losing the ability to learn day to day. And learning is one of the most, because we use learning it when we play video games, because when we start a game, we don't become the best. And learning is the key to anything. It's the greatest thing, because we can use our learning to be the best us. If we're smarter than the next individual, maybe to you it'll feel good. It's just like being better than someone in a video game. Right? But it's actually productive. You can use it in the future. You can't. When a video game comes out of style, it's unuseful. No one's going to play it anymore. But if you always have your mind, you can always use it, and you can always share the information you've gathered in your lifetime with someone else. Someone who's troubled. Maybe, you just take time. You know what some people are scared of? Some people that are scared of being in their thoughts. They're scared to think. And when you play a video game, you don't think. Your eyes are on the screen, and the screen does all the thinking for you. People are scared to meditate. People are scared to do nothing. But when you do nothing, you find something. And some people find games, but games is just nothing. There's nothing good into a game. You can make money from a game, man. You can make money selling drugs, but selling drugs ain't good. And playing video games ain't good. Okay? I wonder what people would think of us 1,000 years ago. What would people think? We're like living zombies? Would people think we're in mind control? What would people think of us if everyone knew we were playing video games today? Of all the people back in the day, always having to do hard work, always having to struggle, always being outside. What would they think of us in the future that we did nothing besides play video games? And not even just imagine the thought of having to go out every day to do the things you need to survive, and then you took a glimpse into the future and realized that everyone's playing a video game, standing still. They would be like, there's a monster in the world. What's wrong with the people? You never think about it that way. You never think about the mass and a whole, or how people used to be and how they are today. It's like almost disrespectful that we play video games all day. It's almost a disgrace to our forefathers that they did so much they did so much for us to do so little. I guess that's a good thing. But are we just gonna be a stalemate from generation to our sons are gonna look at us as some freaking gamer who does nothing? Nah, man, nah. No kid is gonna look up to their father like that. I would never look up to my father like that. My father worked. He didn't play no video games. He did something. He was working. He was trying to provide. That's what the generations before us did. They worked all the time. They didn't get to just sit around. You know what? I find video games boring now. And I'm not just making this up. Because once I became the realization that I'm just sitting still, I became bored of myself. I was like, why am I sitting still? This is so boring. This game is so boring. I'm doing the same thing over. But you have to come to the realization. Because if you don't, you're stuck. You're addicted. And no one's going to tell you you're addicted. Right? So maybe someone will. Say you're on drugs. It's going to be obvious. When you're always inside, it's not so obvious because you don't go out. No one's going to tell you what you do when you're home. Because when you're home, no one can see you. You're taking that time to just do nothing. We got to be productive. We got to be doing something. You sit there and you drink your soda so you can stay up longer playing video games. I drink my coffee in the morning to get woken up so I can start the day and do something, right? I could have woke up today, play a video game, not done this video. Guess what? I would have ended up doing nothing. I made a video. I did something. I'm spreading the word. I think that's productive. If I look back at it from another perspective, I can say, yeah, I was doing YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people doing YouTube. Yeah, I'm standing still. But I'm sending a message. You don't send messages when you play video games. Okay? We have to be sending messages. If we acquire knowledge, we share the knowledge. If you read a good book, give a good book to someone. Share the knowledge. You can't share knowledge when you play video games. Okay? So let's think about the past some more. So let's think about some sports people did back in the time. So they had Olympics, they had the wrestling, they had little competitions to prove who was the better man. And they weren't even crazy competitions. They just see who could jump the farthest, who could lift the most, who was the best wrestler or gladiator or fighter. But in the end, even if you think about the Olympics and who's the best jumper, you're just trying to be better than someone else. In a video game, you play to win. Is competition only to play to win? What knowledge are we gaining from the Olympics? Just to be entertained, just to know that America's better? It's a game. It's a game. It's just a way to be distracted. It's to put all these individuals to do something that's entertaining and unproductive. You get kids to be in gymnastics and be able to do flips, do the splits. You move your hips. You know what I'm saying? What is productive about that? Just so maybe you can go in the Olympics and be better than the girl and get judged for being the best? What is productive? No, we need to know what's important. But no one's asking the question anymore. What's important? I'm not going to tell everyone what's most important. I've slightly tried telling y'all in my videos. I've slightly tried explaining what's more being productive. It's things that are outside. It's things that are going on. You could say you work at McDonald's. Guess what you're doing that's productive? You're feeding people. People need to eat. And when you work at McDonald's, you feed the people. That's being productive. You're keeping people alive. You're keeping yourself alive. You're finding a source of food. You're getting the money to live in your house. It's productive. People who work to make money is productive. But when you're playing video games and making money from that, you're not being productive. You're living a life, the fantasy life. You're living like you're in heaven, bro. It's just this. All you making money doing nothing, I applaud you, because there's so many people out there that wish they could do that. But when you could go out there and make things available so people could work and make money. You could. So here's an example. If everyone worked on rockets, right? This is an example. Stayed off the games. You want to work on electronics? Let's work on rockets. You know what I'm saying? Let's put something to the moon. So in the future, whenever the Earth is incapable of supporting life anymore, the human civilization is able to go to a place where it'll always survive. Not everyone is worried about the future like that. I have thought about it, and it makes me feel like I want to be a part of something. I can be a part of something by sending a message, and then maybe later down the road, I can work on something like that. There's people who want to clear up the air. It's important. The water levels are going to rise because it's going to be less land. When there's less land, we're going to be tighter. We're going to be rats in the rabbit hole. And the only way to get out, there's no way of getting out of that. We're going to go insane. We need to find answers to a lot of things, a lot of problems. A lot of people don't know what the problems are. Sometimes maybe people don't even think there are problems anymore. But there's always going to be a problem, and there's always going to be a solution. But we have to ask the questions to these problems. We have to figure out, why am I only playing video games? Why am I doing this every time? Why have I not found anything to do? It's because you're not asking yourself the questions. And the questions are, what is being productive when I play a video game? Nothing. What could I be doing instead of playing a video game? I'm not you. But I know what I could be doing. I'm trying to send a message. You know, I'm out here trying to work or do anything. I have a business. I sell homes, right? With my family. Not just me. I'm not a crazy home seller or nothing. But my family got me into it, you know? To find homes for people that want to live in a nice place. People come to America and they want to buy a home. There's people that help them buy a home. That is being productive. You're finding people to have a place to live. That is production. That is productive, because when people have a place to live, they can then worry about something else, about being more productive, growing a family. So people sometimes grow a family, and then they grow a family, and everyone's just working a little job. But you know, you try to find a job that's productive. You know, you play a part that makes the world go round. And if we're not doing that and playing video games, we're not making the world go round. Okay? We're not. And we're losing education. Because, say we go to school and we come back home and we just play video games. Our mind loses what we learn, because we're taking in all this information, all the light from the TV. It's all in our heads now. Everything we take in, it's a conflict. If we all stayed on the path of learning, right? The only thing our minds would be focused on is learning. There won't be video games or conflicts or things that are unproductive mixing in with the things you learn. You could be a super genius, for example, and that doesn't matter to you. But super geniuses don't play video games. Do you ever see Elon Musk playing a video game or heard of him? No. He's at his job all day working on rockets to progress civilization and the technology. It's progression in some sort, in some way. And technology, not in a video game. Technology in a rocket. And once we make rockets, we can increase transportation. And once we can increase transportation, it makes life easier. It makes getting to a location to the next faster. And that can be very important. Right? When we think about rockets, they're too fast. We don't need that for someone says someone gets injured and has a broken arm, you need to take him to the hospital. You don't need a rocket for that. But think about long term. Why does he do this? He could do it for the money. But it's not about the money. He's thinking about something that's futuristic, going to another planet. Why are there planets there? Why are there universes? Is it just for us to look at? Nah, dude, nah. We're not just supposed to look at things, or we wouldn't have the things we have today. We're meant to acquire the things we see. When we see a tree, we touch the tree. We look what the tree is growing. They have apples, we take an apple. There's planets out there. Not every planet is going to have what we want, but some planets are going to have a livable space. We want to increase our population. We have sex. We make babies, right? And the thing in some places, you can only have one kid. If we have another place to grow civilization, we can keep growing as a whole to be bigger. Just like the universe. The universe is always growing. It always wants to get bigger. That's what it wants to do. That's what we want to do. We want to grow. We want to expand. And when we play video games, we aren't expanding. No. It's all about expansion. It's all about growing. It's all about acquiring the things that can't be acquired. Well, if we have a game, it's already acquired. It's already been built. What are you working on? I'm not saying we're meant to work, but we wouldn't have anything if we never worked. We have hands. What do our hands be able to do? Is to create. We have the ability to create things. Constant creativity. Why do we always dream? Why do we always have thoughts? It's a constant thoughts. It's constant creation. Why do plants keep growing food? They're constantly creating something. That's what we are supposed to be doing. Content creators for YouTube, they constantly create something. It can be beneficial. There's people who do learning, like science. I love that. Or they show something in the news. That's important. Say like if there was like news in the Holocaust and everyone knew Nazi Germany was executing people 4 years before. It would have been everyone would have knew and everyone would have done something about it. It's the same thing. People can use the platform of YouTube to give the knowledge out there, a better source of knowledge, a better library for say, because not everyone has a library right around the corner. So they go on YouTube, they go on Google. So you have to keep creating content. You got to keep spreading the knowledge. We need to keep creating things that are going to help us for the future. We need to solve the problems that we have today. And it could be a money problem. It could be a health problem. There's a lot of health problems that we could work on. But we need to take the time to realize that is a problem and that's something we need to work on. Oil is going to be a big problem one day because it's not going to be around anymore. It's going to be in the air. What is that going to, all the oil in the air is going to do? It's going to make the ice caps shrink. And then the water levels are going to rise and we're going to have less land. What are we going to do? What are the solutions? Land underground? Land on top of the water? Land in the air? Not land in the air. Growing the buildings higher? Going to another planet? Build more self-sustaining sources of energy? This is what people could be working on. You could take things that are already working and just progress on it. You could see those wind turbines they have in some places. You can try to build a better type of wind turbine. You can build ones that are similar that someone's already created, but you can work on them. You could be a part of that. There's a lot of things. You could be part of like some type of cleaning service. Cleaning is important. You know, you could be a garbage man. That's productive. Any garbage man, you hang on a garbage man, you need to look at you are the garbage man if you think a garbage man is something else less than you. Because that dude is working, he's providing, and he's taking away trash. And taking away trash is a cleanup. Anything you clean is good. Because when you clean, you make yourself healthy, you make the land healthy, right? Less pollution. It's being controlled. And we need to control our minds from these addictions. We need to control our mind to do productive things. It's not all about control, but it makes sense to have control over yourself, control over your thoughts, control over your addictions, and control to want to make something happen. Some people, they don't believe they can make something happen. But how are we all today? Because someone believed. We all have to believe. When we go to a video game, we're not believing anymore. We've given up. We've given up on the next thing we could have done. We can't give up anymore. Life isn't a game. But we're making it into a game. Life is a game now. No, life has never been a game. It's serious. We only get one life. The game, you get multiple unlimited lives. That's the illusion. Because in real life, you only get one. So why are we going to spend our time playing a game that's unlimited? It's like, it's a mockery. It's a mockery that we stick on our game so much. Because everything our past generations worked for is just for us to sit around and do nothing? No. We have to keep progressing. We have to keep getting smarter, keep getting educated. Find a way to make your education system somehow in the future even better. So the kids are learning at a younger age, at a higher rate. You know, go in the medical field or something. Find where people won't get dementia. Have a way to make the old live longer. Have a way where they can still learn at an older age. Just some way. You can help as a whole Be a part of the whole. Don't be a part of the game, because the game is always going to be there. But we aren't always going to be here. Okay? And people, okay, talk about games and electronics and like the sports people play. Because sports, you know, people get too addicted to that already. You know, all you want to do is watch the game, and you take your 2 hours, 3 hours watching someone else play a game, and you're not even playing the game? You're watching someone else have fun? How do you have fun watching someone else have fun and make money? You're wasting your time. That by itself, that's why I hate TV. I don't even have a TV in my room. Because you're wasting your time looking at someone else, man. Don't look at someone else. Look at yourself. You don't even need a mirror, man. Look at yourself in your head. Meditate. Take the time to do nothing so you can do something. That's going to be my motto for this video. Do nothing so you can do something. Don't pick the games. Don't pick some type of electronic. Don't watch the football. People are making the money doing it. Let them make the money. That's what they did. Don't waste your time not making money watching them make money. You can bet on a game, but you can lose your money doing that too. There's more people losing the money than they're making the money. And it's the same thing with video games. And people are spending all this money for the equipment to video cast and do all these things, but they literally wasted their money. They're wasting their time being able to do something productive for the future. And it's all about the future. When you play a game, you're living in the past, because the game doesn't last long. We all need to be focused on the future. And games is a distraction. It's a distraction from the future. Like, I don't know how games are going to be in the future. And if you think about, why were there no games in the past? Because everyone was being productive. And are we too productive now? No, there's never been too productive. It's just the fact that we don't need to be as productive as we used to be. Okay, there wasn't lazy people back in the day. You had kings, but that was the tiniest majority. But even kings had a lot of work to do. All these high officials, they did work to get to those points. It wasn't just being royal blood. That only goes so far. It's like being born into a wealthy family. You don't have to be productive. But even the people who are born in those people, they want to be productive because they look at themselves, and no one wants to look at themselves as a potato. Think of the Buddha. Why he was so respected is because he took the time to realize he was unproductive and realize how he got there. He was born. Right? How did he get born? It's because the people around him kept each other alive. They had hope to keep surviving. They stayed busy, kept finding sources of food, shelter, keeping themselves healthy. Just for him to get fat and do nothing? No. I can't live that way. I'm not going to get rich just to do nothing. I'm gonna get rich to do something. To make something happen prosperous. If I won the Mega Millions or the Powerball, I'm not going to buy a bunch of stuff. No. I'm not going to just buy a bunch of things. I'll be left with nothing. I'm going to put my money in something that's going to be productive. And if I lose it all in the course of trying to do something productive, hey, I tried. And all of us can try to do something productive. We don't got to go to the games. Because we lost trying. We lost the sense of trying. We gave up. And when we fall, we get back up. We're strong individuals. Everyone here has the power, the willpower, the strength, the determination, the motivation, the concentration to be productive, to be a part of the whole, and not just be by yourself. I think we as a group can do it. We can all do it. We can all be a part of something greater. And when people look at us as the generation, they're not going to look at us as a lazy generation, the generation that destroyed us all, you know what I'm saying? Because none of us did anything. Only the old. Because really the main generation is like people 30 and below, right? And everyone else is doing something. Everyone 30 and above aren't playing video games. They're all working and doing something. If you look at your elders, what are they doing? And when we look to our elders, guess what? We want to be better than our elders. We want our elders to be proud of us. This is something that we're all born with, to have gratification from another. And it's not just someone like us. It's from our fathers, our mothers, that wise old man across the street, our teachers, and they're all old. They're all older than us. They weren't born with the games. They were all born to be productive. That's why it's hard for us to find a job. It's because all the people older than us, they went straight to find the jobs. They went straight to the education. They didn't go straight to the games. They weren't the games that weren't there. And we're living in that period where we find ourselves that, oh, there's nothing else to do. There's so much to do, man. You can go outside and water the plants. You water the plants, you're being productive. You're giving oxygen to the world. You're keeping what's live alive. You know, there's so many things you could do. So many. Just take the time. And it doesn't all have to be about money. Because the best way to make money is by helping others. And if you think about it clearly, what businesses are helping others? All of them. All the major businesses are helping people in some type of way. And that's why they make the money. It's because they're being productive and they're helping people. And all of us should be helping people. And guess what? All of us will be making money eventually. Money doesn't come easy. But it comes to the people that are worthy. And you could say people work too hard to get a little money. Life is not meant to be easy. We got it easy now. And if we're going to think that life is hard now, then you don't think hard enough. You don't think hard enough. You're giving up. We never have given up. There's the strong and then there's the weak. But everyone who's weak can grow to be strong. The strong can get weak because they lose the motivation. They come too much to the addictions of having all the strength. They get lost in the power. But the people who are wise with strength, they stay strong. And they help the weak. They help the weak. They help people from their addictions from the games. They stay productive. And you could say this isn't all about games. I didn't want this topic to be just about games. I talked about the games. But this channel is for me to help people, and games is a problem that I see in this world. It's an issue. Everyone's playing a game. People are going into these lounges in like Asia, and they sit into these lounges and play video games. There's billions of people. There's not enough jobs. People don't have a great enough lifestyle, and everyone's stuck in a game, stuck in a box. But I'm telling you, these people who think they're stuck, they can find a way to be productive and find a way to glorify it. Glorify your production. Glorify yourself. You can't find glorification through a video game, because when you look at the end, there's tens and thousands of people playing that same game. It won't be the same. Find your purpose. Find how you can help others. Find how you could be more knowledgeable. Always find a way to help people and make a difference. Okay? And I think that's it. I'll just, if I talk anymore, I'll just be going back to the same things. So I'm gonna summarize what I think. The past, people didn't have games. They were really productive. They had no other choice. As games came higher and higher, people liked the entertainment. People liked being stuck at home and not doing anything. So the group of people who worked on the entertainment, they worked to make money off it, or they worked just to be more lazy. And as gaming's increased, it became better and better. So more people are playing games. Anything that becomes better, people want to be more a part of it. So gaming has increased to the point that everyone has a game. Everyone's being less productive. And what's going to happen in the future? It's going to be even more increased unless we do something now. Just like with anything that's unproductive and increased. Unhealthy lifestyle, etc. Okay? People make money off it. That's good. People used to not make money then. But, as time, it always increases. Things always increase, things always become better. But it's not the way to go. Okay? People get lucky. And it's not all about luck. People can say they have skill in a video game. Maybe you do. Maybe you do got the skill. Maybe that was your purpose in life. To play a video game. Hey, you were able to feed your family? All good for you, man. All good if you're able to make money from it. But I'm talking to the majority that aren't making shit from it. They're losing all. They're losing their lives. They're losing everything. I don't want people to be like that. I don't want people to be depressed behind the controller. Okay? I don't want that. I really don't. I don't want to see people behind the controller. It makes me sad. It makes me feel like there's nothing else for them to do. They just lost it. It makes me sad because I've seen it. I've seen other people. I've seen it in myself. And games are going to keep getting better. You know, it's going to be more addictive. People are going to make more money off it in the future. It's going to be more public. It's only going to increase. But we look at the past and we look at the future and we look where we are and how we got here. Things can make sense. But yeah, that's going to summarize it. Like and subscribe if you like the video. I'm here to help people, believe it or not. I'm here for the people. And I'm here for myself. I'm here to self-educate myself and help on my own speaking skills. To help others, you have to help yourself. It's the guidelines of the world. I mean, you gotta have food in your stomach to move. So you gotta be worried about those things. You can't just keep helping people with no food in your stomach. You won't go far. Help yourself with the knowledge I'm trying to give you. With the knowledge people give you, help yourself so you can help others. And once you find you can help others, everything will come your way the way you've always imagined. I can promise you that. Again, like and subscribe if you like the video. Thumbs down. Give me all the disruptive comments you can give me. Talk shit to me. You know, we can chat about the discussion. Tell me your inputs. I love it. This is the morning Howdy. I'm gonna be here all the time with the coffee, showing support, showing the love. And like every episode, and at the end of every episode, howdy.